Hello, good day. I am by name Samuel Babatunde, and today the subject we're going to be considering is agricultural science. So we're going to be looking at agricultural science today, and the topic we're going to be considering is types of agriculture. Remember, in our previous class, we talked about the introduction to what agriculture. We look at the meaning of agriculture, and we said that agriculture doesn't just center on plants alone or crop cultivation. Neither does it center on animal rearing alone, but agriculture is a combination of what this crop cultivation and animal rearing. And we also see further that agriculture itself is not just centered on crop cultivation and animal rearing. We also have what the processing of these agricultural products, the marketing, and what and so on. So today we're going to be looking at the types of agriculture. That's the types of agriculture, and we're going to be looking at the meaning of these types of agriculture and their characteristics. We're going to what relate them to each other. We'll differentiate between these types, and then we'll consider the various aspects where what these types of agriculture is actually needed. So follow me, and you will understand what the various types of agriculture. So we'll be looking at what the types of agriculture. So we'll be looking at what the types of agriculture. I still remain my name, Babatunde Samuel. So, introduction. I said agriculture is the cultivation of soil, production of crops, and raising of livestock useful to man. Now, this is just one of the definition of agriculture. And if you remember in our previous class, we talked about the definition. Like I said, there are different definitions of agriculture, and all are accepted. But now I'm just giving you what's one of these definitions, and I say agriculture is the cultivation of soil. Definitely, before you can plant anything, you need to cultivate the soil. And this cultivation of soil simply means what? That's the clearing of the bushes, the preparation of the soil for planting. That's what making of ridges. If it's to plow, you plow the soil, and if it's heaps you want to make, you make your heaps. And also what deals with the production of the crops, planting the crops, producing the crops, and raising of livestock useful for man. Example of livestock I gave you was cattle, your cow, you have the goats, pigs, horses, donkeys. All these are what are livestock useful to man. Yes, they're useful to man because what you can get food from this livestock, like meats you get from livestock. You can get milk, most especially from cows. You get milk from cows and so on. And I say, apart from the production of crops and animals, agriculture now includes marketing. Like I told you, that agriculture has gone beyond just cultivation of soil and animal rearing. It now includes what marketing and distribution of these what agricultural products. For instance, your cocoa. When you plant this cocoa, what happens? You process this cocoa into bonvita, into your Milo, and what do? You market all these things. So what agriculture covers all these aspects. Now we're looking at what the various types of agriculture. The various types of agriculture. And I say agriculture can be divided into two types. Remember in our previous class, I said agriculture can be divided into two. That's the crop cultivation and the what and the animal rearing is centered on two. But now we're looking at types of agriculture. So agriculture can be divided into two types: the subsistence agriculture and the commercial agriculture. I know what will be running through your mind is what is subsistence agriculture and what is commercial agriculture. Don't worry, we're going to look at each of them one after the other. So agriculture is divided into two types: the subsistence agriculture and the commercial agriculture. Now let's pick the first one, which is the subsistence agriculture. Now this is a type of agriculture which involves production of crops and animals by a farmer to feed himself and his family. This type of agriculture is just for what? For the farmer self and his family, just for himself and his family. So this is a type of agriculture that is practiced most by what individual families, like my family, your family. This is type of agriculture we can practice. It is called what? Subsistence agriculture. It involves the planting or the production of crops and animals just for our own consumption, for our own personal consumption, for the family consumption. This is subsistence agriculture. It does not involve what large cultivation of crops. It does not involve large acres of land. It does not involve large plantations. or rearing of large animals, because what? It's just for the consumption of the family. So the type of agriculture which involves production of crops and animals by farmer to feed himself and his family. The farmer the farmers produces food for the consumption of family with little or nothing left to sell. So the main aim of this subsistence agriculture is just for consumption. It's not for business or marketing. No. In this aspect of agriculture, in this type of agriculture, marketing is not considered. You do not market. The farmer doesn't have it in mind that he wants to market any product. Is none of this is for sale. Even if he wants to sell anything, it might be after the family consumption, and maybe some are left, then he might not decide to sell. But the primary aim of subsistence agriculture is just for what? Family consumption. It's not for business at all. And that's why I say it is a type of agriculture most of the families in Nigeria today practice. For instance, you just have a small land, you plant your maize and plant other crops that your family needs to consume maybe for that year or for that month. This is a type of subsistence agriculture. Another example is the rearing of poultry that we do just for family consumption. Most of us we rear birds like for festive period, we rear animals for festive period. Now this is subsistence agriculture, because we are actually practicing this for what? For the family consumption alone, for yourself and your family. So there's no aim of what? Marketing these products. This is subsistence agriculture. It's a type of agriculture which involves production of crops and animals by farmer to feed himself and his family. Then we're looking at the characteristics of subsistence agriculture. Now, why do we say this agriculture is a what? A subsistence agriculture? Definitely, there are some things you see that will make you to understand that yes, this is subsistence agriculture and not a commercial agriculture. Number one is that it involves the use of small plots of land. Yes, when you are and when you engage yourself in subsistence agriculture, you do not need a large land, a large land mass. All you just need what is a small plot of land, because it's just for your family consumption alone. In a case whereby you cultivate a large land mass now, and your main aim is for your family, you will notice that these crops or these animals might end up wasting, because you don't have it in mind to market them. So because it's for the family consumption alone, only small plot of land is required. It engages what? The use of small plots of land in order for what? For you to cultivate your crop, or in order for you to rear the minimum amount of animals you want for family consumption. Two says what? It uses family labor or unskilled labor. Now, in this type of agriculture, you don't need to employ a specialist. No, you don't need a specialist to help you with farm, because it's for your family consumption. So what do you do? It only requires the labor of the members of your family, and we call it unskilled labor because you're not a professional. The members of your family, your children, your wife, you guys are not professional, but you just engage in this agriculture because what? You want to feed yourself and your family. So it uses what? Family labor, unskilled labor. We regard it as unskilled labor because it is not carried out by professionals. So it uses what? The family labor. And you observe that the family labor what is very, very small. And that is why you require a small plot of land. Because when you're having a large land mass now, definitely family labor won't be sufficient to operate a large landmass. So it uses what? Family labor or unskilled labor. Number three, it says it usually makes use of local tools such as hoes and cutlasses. Now you notice that now most of our agriculture now mechanized agriculture that involves the use of machines, tractors. But in case of subsistence agriculture, you don't require these machines, because why will you use machine when you are working on a small plot of land? And why will you engage machine when you are only cultivating for what? For family consumption. So machines or machineries, tractors are not actually needed in subsistence agriculture. All you just need, since it's a small plot of land you're cultivating and it's a family labor, unskilled labor, what do? You make use of your what? Local tools, the hoes, the cutlasses. That's those the tools you need to engage in this agriculture, because what? It's actually a small agricultural practice, not a very large one. Your agricultural activity is not very, very large or versatile. It just was within a confined plot of land, a small plot of land. So you don't require what? Machines. You only require local tools to carry out these activities, this agricultural activity. And number 4 here says what? It requires less capital. Less capital. Now, what does capital mean? Capital simply means money. So what? It requires less money, less capital for you to what? To start up this subsistence agriculture. Just get your plot of land, you get your local tools which are very cheap. You can't compare the prices of local tools now to some tractors or machines. You can't even compare. It's not comparable. It's incomparable at all. So it requires less capital. You use your local tools, you farm on your land, you just use a family labor. You don't need to invite a professional, because inviting a professional on its own, you have to pay for the services this professional is going to what, render for you. But you don't need all this. You only what, employ the family labor, which you're not paying for, because what the main aim of this agriculture is to feed yourself and your family. So it requires less capital. A lesser capital is required. So that is the characteristics of subsistence and agriculture. Now we'll be moving to the second type of agriculture, which is what, the commercial agriculture. Now this is when we talk about business in agriculture. When we talk about agricultural marketing, this is where you find agricultural marketing, business in agriculture. We call it what, the commercial agriculture. Now this is a type of agriculture which is concerned with the production of crops and animals in large quantity. In large quantity. It is mainly concerned with the production of crops and animals in large quantity. Now, not just for family consumption, but for what, consumers consumption. When I talk about consumers now, like different families, even from around the world. Not It mustn't even be in your state or your country, even from around the world. You are cultivating not just for your family alone, but what, for the consumption of what, everybody in the society, for the consumption of everybody in the society. So we call it what, the commercial agriculture. We call it the commercial agriculture. It's called commercial agriculture. You are farming not just for your own consumption. You are farming large quantity. It involves what, large acre of land, large quantity of animals, large quantity of crops is being produced. So it's called what, commercial agriculture. It's called commercial agriculture. Now, what are the characteristics of this commercial agriculture? Number one, it involves what, the cultivation of large acres of land. Remember, in subsistence, we say what, it involves cultivation of a small plot of land, but this one now involves cultivation of large, from the word, see, hectare. Do you know what hectares means? Hectares is like one of the largest way of measuring land. Large acres of land, because it's a commercial agriculture. So we are cultivating a large landmass. You want to produce crops and animals, not just for family consumption, but for consumption of the society, for business purpose. So you have to cultivate what, large acres of land, unlike the subsistence farming, whereby you are cultivating just small plot of land. Now, number two says what, it employs the use of hired laborers, or what, skilled labor. Remember, in subsistence, we say what, subsistence employ the what, it employ the use of family labor or unskilled labor. But now here it employs the use of hired labor, meaning you hired the laborers, the professionals, you hire them to come and work on your land, to come and work on your farmland. That's what's called skilled labor. Now you are employing the use of skilled labor, those who are professionals in this aspect, those who are professionals, be it crop and planting, those who are professionals in planting of crops, be it animal rearing. You know, this animal rearing has aspects. If it's what, the rearing of goats, rearing of cows, you are employing what, those who are specialized in rearing cow to come to help you what, in your cow production. If it's those that are specialized in rearing of goats, you invite them for what, for the rearing of your goats. So it employs the use of hired labor, not just family labor, because when you are cultivating a large acre of land, family labor is too small and it's unskilled. So you won't get the right output. The expected output won't be gotten. So you need what, skilled labor. And that's what we call hired labor. So you employ the use of this skilled labor for what? For maximum production. Since you are producing for the society, what you are producing is for the society, you need what? Maximum production. And for you to achieve this maximum production, you require what? Skilled labor. You require skilled labor, not unskilled labor, as in subsistence agriculture. Now, another characteristics is what? That most operations of commercial agriculture are mechanized. Technology. In terms of commercial agriculture, what happened? Technology is considered. You must put in technology. You can't operate a commercial agriculture with local tools. No, you can't use local tools to cultivate large acres of land. You require what? Machines. You require tractors. You require tractors to cultivate this land. Because if you employ the use of local tools, what you might like the soil you might cultivate in just an hour with a tractor might take you 10 days to cultivate with local tools. And you will spend more money, because you spend more money and time, because now you employ more laborers, and you have to pay these laborers, and your time is going. And one thing you don't have in this world is time. So what commercial agriculture and mechanized, they employ the use of tractors, not local tools, as in subsistence agriculture. It employs the use of what? Machines, tractors. Technology is actually important in what? In commercial agriculture. You must put technology in commercial agriculture. You must employ the use of mechanized instrument, mechanized equipment. The tractors, they must be used. Now, four says what? The yields are high. Of course, the yield will definitely be high. You must have what? Maximum production. Your production will be high because you're not cultivating a small plot of land. You're not using unskilled labor. You're not using local tools. All you are using is what? You are using a skilled labor, you are cultivating a large acre of land, and you're using mechanized equipment. You're using tractors. Definitely, your what yield will be very high. You have a what? Very high yield compared to what? Subsistence agriculture, whereby the yield will be very is low just for what? Family consumption. And five says it involves the production of cash crops. Yes, the production of cash crops. Remember, I told you that commercial agriculture deals with what? Business. It deals with marketing. So whatever you are producing, most especially you are producing what? Cash crops. That's crops that what? That can be exported out of the country, that can be exported out of the states in exchange for cash. So it involves production of cash crops like your cocoa, your cassava. All these are cash crop. Even the cashew nut is a cash crop. So it involves production of cash crop, unlike the subsistence agriculture, whereby you only farm little for your family consumption. That one do not need cash crop, because your main aim is not to make money. Your main aim is to feed your family. So you do not want involved in production of cash crop. But for commercial, since the commercial, the main aim here is to make money. The main aim here is marketing, is businessing. You need what? You need it involves the production of what? Of cash crop. With this, we've come to the end of what? The various types of agriculture, which I told you that there are subsistence agriculture and the commercial agriculture. I have a brief assignment for you, and I say short, differentiate between subsistence and commercial agriculture. Just in a brief sentences, you just differentiate between the subsistence agriculture and the commercial agriculture. You differentiate between subsistence agriculture and commercial agriculture. So before we go, we're going to do a brief recap on what we discussed. We discussed about the types of agriculture, and I said agriculture is divided into two types: the subsistence agriculture and the commercial agriculture. And we say the subsistence agriculture is the type of agriculture that involves what? Production of crops and animals by farmer just for himself alone and for his family. For himself and his family. You just require what? Less output that you need, because the products or the production is just for your family and for yourself. And I talk about the characteristics of subsistence agriculture. I say it involves the use of small plot of land. It uses family labor or unskilled labor. It usually makes use of what? Local tools. Yes, we say we don't need machines because we are just cultivating a small plot of land, and it requires less capital. You don't spend much. And in terms of commercial agriculture, we see this type of agriculture that's involved in what? In the production of what? Crops and animals in large quantity, because what you are going to market all these products. So if you produce in small quantity, you might be at loss, because now the things you're going to employ, you're employing a skilled labor, you're employing mechanized what? Farming. So all this we requires what? Money. And if you don't produce in large quantity, you might run a loss. So what? It involves the production of crops and animals in large quantity. And we say the characteristics of commercial agriculture is that it involves cultivation of large acre of land, unlike the subsistence that involve what? Small plot of land. And we say it employ what? Skilled labor, not unskilled labor. That means you require what? Professionals to work on your farmland for you. And then we say it's that most of the operation are mechanized. That is, technology is very, very important in the aspect of commercial agriculture. You need to employ the use of tractors to what? To work on your farmland for maximum production. And we say the yields are very high. Of course, the yield will be high because what? You're using mechanized, you're undergoing, you're practicing mechanized agriculture. You're using technology in your agriculture. Definitely, there will be a difference. You will have what? A very, very high yield, maximum production. And lastly, I say it involves the production of cash crops. Since the main aim of this agriculture is to make money, is to make profits. So definitely it will involve the what production of cash crops. And I gave you examples of cash crop. I say what the cocoa is an example of cash crop, and what cassava is also an example of cash crop. So, and I give you an assignment. I say she what differentiate between subsistence agriculture and commercial agriculture. So with this, we've come to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. I still remain Samuel Babatunde. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please do not ensure you would subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of these videos. And also follow more on classes on agricultural science. Thank you and God bless you.